xAI just shipped a coding agent that reads your Claude Code setup.
Your Claude.md, your rules, your skills. It just runs them. It's called Grok Build and is Elon Musk's xAI walking straight into Anthropic's backyard. A coding agent that lives in your terminal, takes a prompt, and goes to work on your real codebase. And here's the part that makes builders look twice.
It costs a fraction of what you're paying now.
But there's one catch that decides whether you should actually switch, and I'll get to it. First, where this lands.
For 2 years, the terminal coding agent was a 2-horse race. Anthropic's Claude Code, OpenAI's Codex CLI. Now, there are 3.
xAI just made Grok Build the third, betting the same bet all 3 labs are making, that the next decade of dev tooling lives in your terminal, not a chat window. Under the hood, it's a model called Grok Build 0.1 with a 256,000 token context window. The CLI itself is written in Rust. Plan, review, approve. Clean diffs, hooks, plugins, headless automation, the whole professional kit. But the spec that made people stop scrolling? One prompt can spawn up to 8 agents at once.
8 sub-agents, each on its own branch of your codebase, working in parallel. It runs on the same 16-agent heavy architecture behind Grok 4.3. So, instead of one assistant chewing through your task list one item at a time, you fan the work out and let 8 of them grind at the same time. Picture what that's for. You ask it to add test coverage across a dozen modules. Instead of one agent crawling through them in a line, 8 spin up, grab a module each, and report back. The afternoon of busy work collapses into minutes. Now, the part that actually matters for you, and is the reason this video exists.
Grok Build reads the Anthropic format directly.
Your Claude.md file, your .claude rules folder, your plugins, even your Claude Code skills, the packaged ones you built or installed. You point Grok Build at the same repo, and it picks them all up. Let that sink in.
You'd assume switching coding agents means rebuilding your entire setup from scratch. Every rule you wrote, every skill you tuned, months of config, gone. Start over.
That's the assumption, and it's wrong. Grok Build just imports the ecosystem you already built for Claude. xAI didn't invent its own config format and beg you to switch. It read Anthropic's and made it the on-ramp. It speaks MCP2. Every model context protocol server you've already wired up, it picks up with 0 extra config. Drop it in your repo, and your tools are just there. And it doesn't stop at your own files. Grok Build ships connectors straight into GitHub, Notion, Linear, and Google Workspace on top of Bring Your Own MCP, so the agent can read an issue, write the fix, and open the pull request without you copy-pasting between 5 tabs. And here's what nobody's really saying out loud.
When a competitor builds their new product to read your rival's config files, that is not just convenience.
That's xAI quietly conceding Anthropic won the standard. They're not fighting Claude Code on ecosystem. They're saying, keep your ecosystem, just run it on our cheaper engine. That's a very different kind of attack. Speaking of cheaper.
On the API, Grok Build's model is reportedly about 20 cents per million input tokens and $1.50 per million out. Now hold that next to Claude. Sonnet is $3 in, 15 out. Opus is far past that again.
That is the model doing your grunt work for rounding error money.
And xAI just opened Grok Build 0.1 on the API in public beta, so you don't even need a subscription to point it at your own scripts and test it. They're shipping fast too. The CLI has already passed version 0.25 with new builds landing every few days. This is not a one-and-done launch. It's being hammered on hard. Recent builds added things like exporting your usage metrics to your own telemetry and a dashboard showing every agent session running on your machine. Small features, but it's the stuff that signals they're building for people who run agents all day. So far, this sounds like a no-brainer. Cheaper, compatible, 8 agents in parallel, free to try.
Here's the catch I promised, and it's the honest part most hype videos skip.
On the hardest public coding benchmark, SWE-bench verified, which measures whether an agent can fix real GitHub issues, Grok Build's model scores 70.8%.
Claude Code running Opus scores 80.8.
That's a real 10-point gap on the test that matters most. So read it straight.
Grok Build is not smarter than Claude Code.
It's cheaper, it fans out wider, and it runs your existing setup. But when the problem is genuinely hard, subtle architecture, a nasty bug that needs real reasoning, Claude still wins. And don't let the 20-cent number fool you on cost either. The full polished agent, the premium CLI, sits behind a tier called Super Grok Heavy, reportedly around $300 a month. The cheap price is the raw model on the API. The premium product is not cheap at all. And it's still early beta, remember? Expect rough edges, commands that change under you, the occasional broken build. That's the tax on being first to a brand new tool. So what does this actually unlock for you today?
4 real moves.
1. A cheap parallel workforce. Point those 8 agents at the boring stuff, renaming across a whole repo, writing test coverage, mechanical refactors, and pay cents while they grind at once. 2. Kill the lock-in tax. Your Claude.md and your skills are no longer trapped in one vendor's tool. The same setup runs in Claude Code and in Grok Build. You're free to move. 3. Run 2 lanes. Keep Claude Code on Opus for the gnarly reasoning problem that needs the smartest model in the room. Hand the high-volume, low-stakes work to Grok Build at a fraction of the price. 4. Prototype against the raw API for almost nothing. 20 cents a million means you can build your own little agent scripts and barely feel the bill. That third one is the real mindset shift.
Stop thinking about which single coding agent is best.
Start thinking in lanes, a smart and expensive lane, a cheap and parallel lane, and route each job to the one that fits. The winner isn't a tool anymore. It's the router in your head. So should you switch?
Here's the honest verdict. If you live in Claude Code and your work is hard single-threaded reasoning, stay put.
The benchmark gap is real, and you've already paid the setup cost. But if your API bill is creeping up or you've got mountains of mechanical work to fan out, Grok Build is worth a real test. Precisely because it costs almost nothing to try, and your whole setup comes along for the ride.
Because the wild part was never that xAI cloned Claude Code.
It's that the clone runs your Claude Code files, and a competitor just turned your config into the industry standard.
Subscribe, and we'll keep turning every new AI drop into something you can actually ship.